So a question that I'm asked quite often is, what is the best exercise to get yourself a six-pack, or get your abdominal muscles showing? And the answer I always give is that the majority of people have got a perfectly good set of abdominal muscles, even those who are overweight, but it's just that they're covered with a layer of fat, so you can't see them. Now, we must have good abdominals to stand upright and function. So the answer to that is, the best exercise is a good clean diet and regular exercise. So that apart, what is the best exercise to work your abdominals? Well, in my opinion, there is no one best exercise for everyone. Now, some people might find this certain exercise works well for them, and another person might find that this works for them. But to me, you're much better off using a variety of different exercises to work the various sections of the abdominal area and add variations, so you're always stimulating the muscle groups to get them all working effectively. So constantly doing sit-ups and crunches, working the rectus abdominis, but not really focusing on anything else, is a waste of time. And especially when sit-ups usually use the hip flexors more than the abdominals. So the things I never use for abdominal workouts in classes or one-to-one personal training sessions are sit-ups or crunches. There's a wide range of exercises out there that work better. So that's what we're going to go through today. Now, I've chosen 13 exercises that we either do regular or we put in now and again into our classes and personal training sessions. So there may be other exercises out there which I don't use, but we want to keep this short. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on what to do during these exercises in terms of breathing and posture, but this is not an instructional video. This video is about giving you some ideas of what other exercises there are to work your abdominals without having to do sit-ups and crunches all the time. So you perform these at your own risk, and I take no responsibility for any injuries that may occur if you perform these exercises on your own. So again, this is just to give you some ideas. So we're going to start with one of the best out there, the mountain climber. So you're going to get yourself into a push-up position. Hands underneath the shoulders, nice flat back so you're not bum up in the air, and basically lean forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. That'll engage the abdominals a bit more, and you then bring the knee to the elbow. Okay? If you're back here, you're going to slip. I know I've got a wall there now, but you're going to slip. So make sure you're leaning forward and then bring the knee to each elbow or forearm. You can alter the speed as you wish. Some people try and do it fast but limit their range. You're better off getting the full range, and when that becomes comfortable, gradually increasing the speed of the exercise. Remember to keep a nice low push-up or top of push-up position. I'm going to get out of breath doing this, so bear with me with that. So a variation on the mountain climber is a cross-body mountain climber. Same position, leaning forwards. This time you're going to bring the knee over to the opposite forearm or elbow. Now, one thing you want to try and prevent here is rotation of the body. What you're trying to do is keep the body nice and firm or stable and just bring the knee across. So there's very little rotation of the body. Okay, those two, excellent. I would do those over sit-ups 100% of the time. So, good old plank. Laying flat, elbows directly underneath your shoulders, hands however you like them. Get nice and high on the shoulders to begin with. Come up onto the knees, get a nice flat body, and then up onto your toes. Hold that position. Try and get your chin or your face over your hands. Squeeze your abdominals, squeeze your backside, squeeze between the shoulder blades, and breathe. Okay? If you find that easy, you can do punches. Limit the amount of sway you have and rotations. Take the arms out to the side. You can raise a leg, hold it for 10 seconds or just alternate them with the beat of the music. And or finally you can do a plank builder. So from plank up onto one hand, down to the forearms. So that's a couple of variations of plank. There might be others, but that's enough to be getting on with. Now quite often people say, oh, I can do a plank for 4 minutes. So what? If you can do it for 4 minutes, there's almost no point doing that any longer. You need to add a variation to stimulate the body. So try some of those variations. So what have we got next? Rollouts. So I'm going to use a Swiss ball, gym ball, fit ball, whatever you want to call it. Smaller the better. This is quite a large one. I've also done these before with the dumbbells that allow the plates to rotate and you can roll out on them. There's also, not sure if it's training, but like an ab wheel you can hold on to, a single wheel and you can roll out. Same thing, same effect. They're probably better for you than this, but most people have access to one of these. So all you're going to do here is, you don't have to have your feet against the wall, it just happens to be there for me. Keep the body upright. Push the ball to arm's length. I would breathe in as you go down, breathe out as you push back up. So I'll show you a couple of reps first. So what you want to look out for is you don't bend at the waist there and then go out. And also you don't want to let your hips drop at the end. Okay? If you feel you can't go down to that level, so the ball's resting on my forearms, do that push up. If you can't manage that, limit the distance you go out. So go to there. Just get a good quantity of those under your belt. And when you feel comfortable, start going gradually a little bit lower. Pike. Again, on the fit ball. So the ball's going to be over the feet and most of the shins. You're going to pull the feet towards you, pushing your hips up into the air. So now, some of the things to do: don't let your hips drop at the bottom, keep your core tight. Breathe in and down. Now that's quite tough for a lot of people. Holding in this actual position is quite challenging for other people, or a lot of people. The ball is rolling from side to side, so just get them to hold that position. They'll be using their abdominals. Let's see. Starfish. We use this every week in our classes. So let's shoot from this angle. So laying down in a star position, so arms out to the sides, legs out, flatten out to the sides. You're going to twist the body and touch the opposite hand to the opposite foot. Roll back down, rest the head, repeat the opposite side. So you want to roll onto the shoulder. So there's always one shoulder in contact with the floor. It's a rotation. So from the side, you roll onto one shoulder, touch the straight leg. Keep the leg straight as you can. Put the head down at the end of each one. Okay, that's starfish. Spider-Man push-ups. The girls in classes hate these with a passion. Okay, so this is a push-up with a knee to the outside of the elbow. So, in one go. Alright, so normal push-up position. Do, then the other side. Push-up, knee out to the side. So I know you can only see this side, so we'll do it that way. So with some of the girls, they struggle with push-ups full stop. So what we get them to do is either just that and then the other side. They're working their core just by holding that top of the plank position. Or we get them to do a push-up and then a knee to the side. That's a really good exercise. Ball thruster. If you're wondering why I don't do all the ball exercises on one go, it's because they're tough. I need a breather. So, same as before, top of the feet and the shins over the ball, top of a push-up position, bring the knees into the chest, trying to keep your bum down. So it's not that, it's bring the knees through, keeping your back reasonably flat. So that's the ball thruster. Now I know people out there may have different names for these exercises. Doesn't matter. Okay. Scissors. Laying flat on your back. I would just put the hands underneath your backside. Push the lower back into the floor and keep it there. One knee into your chest, one leg straight. Try and keep the feet around about 3 to 6 inches off the floor. And then, so I'm exaggerating the breathing, but try and breathe out every time you take a leg out, so it's quick breathing. Breathe in, out. All the time, keeping your back flat. You don't want to be doing this with an arch in your back. If when you do this, and you take your leg out to the full extension, you get discomfort in your back, will limit the range of movement. So just do, yeah, okay. Different variation on that, knees to chest. Slight curl, slight curl, so you only just bring the lower back off the floor gently, then both legs skim the floor, keeping the low back flat. Don't have an arch in the back. If you can't stop your back from arching, don't go out so far. So, the slower you do those, the harder they feel. And so you breathe out on taking the legs out, breathe out, take the legs out, breathe in, bring the legs in. And keep the feet as much as possible about 3 to 6 inches off the floor. Okay, so that's knees to chest. Done scissors. Stir the pot. For this, I generally have someone put their feet against the wall. Elbows almost on top of the ball. You may need to adjust yourself when you get into position. So just lean a little bit away. Come up. So your feet are resting against the wall. Elbows on. You don't have to clasp your fingers, but I tend to. And then raise yourself off the ball. Now, sorry, this is a ball plank. Just hold in this position. Keep nice and high on the shoulders, so you're not touching the ball, but you're nice and flat. And then if you want to add stir the pot, you make little circles with the ball. And every time your elbows go in front of your chin, your abdominals are screaming. Okay, that's the ball plank and stir the pot. Last but not least, we'll need to change things around a bit here. So you don't need the weights. Okay, so you don't need weights, but some people say that it's better to do without them. So I think it controls things better. So you can use a barbell or a heavy sandbag, power bag, or the sofa, anything you can. I've got some dumbbells, so you're going to lay flat on your back. Use these for support. Legs in the air, and you're going to control the legs coming down. Nice, you don't let them fall down. Control, bring them back up and out to the other side. Slowly. Don't try and let momentum bring the legs up. So I'm looking at breathing out to bring the legs up either side, breathe in, taking down to each side. So you can use your arms out to the sides and do the same thing, but to me it's not quite as good. Allow your body to twist. And that's a windscreen wiper. So that's just a range of abdominal exercises. There are plenty of others. Things like windmills with the kettlebells, Turkish get-ups with kettlebells, but we're trying to give you a range of exercises that most people can do in the home if they've got a ball or bodyweight alone exercises. So give them a go.